Hero Stock Nation?
What's up, Hero Stock Nation? It's Tom Lamog here, the Roundtable, where heroes talk. That's the program you're watching. Whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook, or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we're glad that you're here. Here at the Roundtable, we believe every veteran, first responder, and community leader has a story worth telling. Our goal isn't simply to talk about what people have done, but to explore the experiences that helped them, that shaped them, the challenges that they faced, and the lessons they've learned along the way. We hope those conversations inspire others who may be walking a similar path. As always, I'd like to introduce you to our good friend, fellow musician, songwriter, Army veteran, and my co-host, Matthew Jones. Sir,
what is going on? I tell you what, I don't know, I feel like every time you introduce me, you got this big smile on your face, and I'm like, people have got to be tired of hearing you introduce me.
Oh, no. Of course. Are you kidding? You know, I, for one, have not seen you in a month. And it's kind of like, you know what, this is the first interview that we've done in several weeks, obviously. So, you know, as much as I like doing this by myself, no, you always bring the game, dude. You always bring the conversation.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a testament to us just kind of getting older, but why does it feel like every time we start an episode, we're relearning something?
Yeah.
You know?
That's how life is, you know. It's like you keep on learning. At least I can say that about guitar. It's kind of like, you know, I'm going to continue to learn and never look back. But it applies to a lot of other things as well too.
Oh, so. Absolutely.
Hey, now listen. The big event is coming up. The big festival resource fair, Hero Stock 26, Ashland, Nebraska. 43 days away. Did you know
43, 42 if you're coming to the pre-party.
Yeah, the pre-party. So we know the pre-party, it's kind of got a little bit of rock.
Yeah, them boys from Pennsylvania. Who are those guys? Who are those guys? Die Tired? Yeah, Die Tired.
And yeah, they're going to come back and rock the place. This is kind
those guys are awesome, man. I love those guys.
Consecutive years that they've made their appearance, and special treat, they're going to be our guest in the next few weeks before the big before the big festival. So they're coming back. There's also something new that Jason Steiner's planned, the Omaha Hellhounds, and maybe, you know, you're a local boy out there, you may have heard of them.
Maybe a little bit. But, you know, I stay pretty busy, so you're going to have to fill me in, man. What's Jason up to now?
Oh, now this is medieval combat, right?
I did see this. This is like Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy, you know? This is going to be awesome.
It's kind of like a cage match without the cage and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of action, but that's coming on the pre-party 42 days from now. Let's talk about some of the other things that are happening that we know about. In the last month, we've learned more about Doc Goodbeard's big, beautiful, badass beard battle. And there are prizes involved. And you're not competing in that, are you, Matt?
Oh, I absolutely am competing.
You and a bunch of other beard.
I've tried the beard products, man.
Oh yeah.
You can't try Doc Goodbeard products and then not want to compete in a competition that earns you Doc Goodbeard products.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
You're right. And Doc Goodbeard would have it no other way. And
absolutely.
What I'm looking forward to is the shampooing contest. Yeah.
Oh yeah, are we gonna have to lather the beard up?
Yeah. You've already given us that demo.
Yeah, I gave you a demo. You only get one.
Make sure to stop by Facebook or even our website herostock.org to actually see Matt undergo this transformation of becoming the Doc Goodbeard model.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I'm not the model.
Hey, the fourth singer-songwriter has also been named to the
Yes.
Roundtable Live. That's going to be the writers round for Hero Stock 2026. It's the Roundtable Live. DJ Bridwell, a local DJ.
Yes.
Yes, a man who is not only deeply involved with singer-songwriting for himself, performing, but he's also invested in making sure that singer-songwriters in the area are also recognized as well too through the Trails of Tales Songwriters Festival that he does every year. So we know that he's going to be there. And the last thing that I know that I've heard from the folks over at Hero Stock, part of the board, is that we're looking for nonprofits, for-profit vendors, government entities to be a part of our resource fair. We're shooting for 75 organizations to show up and attend. So there's a lot of stuff that's been happening this last month, which is why you probably haven't seen me and Matt, because we're behind the scenes. We're scrambling to get all of that stuff in order as well too. So looking forward to that. Anything.
Absolutely.
Anyhow. Let's move on. We do have our guest with us tonight, and this is going to be a special treat. Tonight, we're honored to welcome Army veteran, retired firefighter, paramedic, and accomplished artist Robert Shrek Harrell. Shrek has spent a lifetime serving others, from fighting wildland and structural fires to serving as an Army firefighter and a paramedic. Like many veterans and first responders, those years came with invisible wounds. Instead of allowing trauma to define him, Shrek discovered healing through art. Tonight, we'll explore the people and experiences that shaped his life, his military and fighting careers, his battle with PTSD, and how a paintbrush became one of the greatest tools in his recovery. And later in the program, Shrek will give us a live painting demonstration while we continue our conversation. Shrek, sir, welcome. Welcome to the show.
How,
Hey,
how are
man.
y'all doing?
It's an honor to have you. We have talked probably about a month ago or so, and since then, I got to tell you, man, first artist to come and paint on our show. We've been looking forward to this conversation. So, yeah, thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate it.
Well, there isn't a whole lot of information that I was able to find about you, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of jump right in, and maybe you can help us get to know who you are from the very beginning, and the things that I was able to learn about your life. And this is thanks to our mutual friend Ryan Rogers from Choices Not Chances podcast. I was learning more about your life, and things to me after watching the interview, things became pretty clear. Long before the military or the fire service, there were experiences that obviously shaped you into the man you are. Maybe what you can do is tell us a little bit about, taking us to the beginning, about your youth and growing up and things that stand out to you most.
Okay, my name is Robert Harrell. My legal name, I go by Shrek. I've had that nickname since 2003. My Native American name is Bijaki, which means buffalo. I'm Choctaw from Oklahoma. Uh, I'm a registered Choctaw artist. And we'll start at the beginning as far as I can remember back. My mother was, I started taking care of my mother around 7. My mother was handicapped from 7 to around, 16 when she passed away. So from 7 to 16, I was their primary caregiver for the most part. My brother-in-law and my sister did a lot of the caregiving too, but when they wasn't at the house, me and my little brother did the caregiving. From about the age of 6, I knew I was artistically gifted more than any other child that I knew. And what I mean by that, like when I was 6 years old, I could do what probably a 15-year-old could do artistically. And as I grew, it just got more advanced and more advanced. So we were pretty poor. I thought I was poor until I went to some other countries, and then I realized I was just a little off compared to some other people, but I wasn't as poor as I thought I was. And so my mother did the best she could for us. I have 4 siblings. 2 of them are, I have 3 other siblings, I'm sorry. 2 of them are still alive. There's 4 of us total. Uh, uh, what really kind of start helping shape my life was my mother. My father was never around, and my mother was everything to me. She was my mother and father. So she taught me the morals and values and right from wrong. And she made sure we was in church. And even though we didn't have a lot, she instilled everything that I thought was important to me and still is important to me. And she ensured that I made sports. She ensured that I was, everything I needed. She provided the best she could. So uh, she always supported me in my art, and she loved watching me do art. And some of the best memories I have with her was when I was doing art and she would watch. She was always a big supporter in art, and I'm glad she was always supportive of everything I did. And so a lot of times, even in school, uh, it was funny because I would have to take her to a lot of doctor's appointments. She would have 31 knee surgeries before she passed away. And so the school would let me 31, yeah.
Wow.
And so a lot of the stuff that you see nowadays, like bone stimulators and a lot of things were tested on my mother back in the 80s and 90s, stuff that they were trying to help her get better. But she would spend months and months in hospital, in the time in hospital. It's not like going in for a knee surgery now and be out in 3 days. She would be there months at times, and we would stay with different people. And my teenage years, especially, with deacons in our church. I would stay with one deacon, and my little brother would stay with another deacon. It was challenging at times, I would say, but it taught me that life is going to be hard no matter who you are and what you do, right? And you have to just get tough and move on with it, right? And so my mother was one of the best fishermen I knew, or a fishing woman. A lot of the children that I went to school with called her Fish Mama. And during the summer, when I wasn't playing sports, we would fish every night in the summer. And that was her thing. So we would fish all night.
What did you guys fish for?
Anything that bites,
anything that
catfish,
bit, huh?
crappie, bass, brim,
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Would this be like at a lake or a pond?
It was a lake. It was next to. It was a lake near. It was called Lake Hall. It's near Hollis, Oklahoma, and mainly catfish and crappie.
Did she ever tell
and
you where she learned all that from?
I can't remember. I think she's just been fishing her whole life. So, I think my aunt said that she always did that. My aunt was always doing something else, and my mother was always fishing. So I think she had did it all her life too. And there's a lot of things I wish I could remember about. I mean, it's been 33 years ago since she passed away,
Right.
and I wish I could remember a lot of those things. But being 16 and not knowing that your mom's about to pass away, you don't know the questions to ask. Right. So, hindsight's always 20/20. And, looking back at it now, there's things I would have liked to have known, but I didn't. So it is what it is. But she did instill me a lot of life values. And so,
Shrek, I want to ask you something because
yes,
earlier
sir.
in the program you mentioned, going back to art now for just a second, that at 6 years old, there was a profound discovery that was made. I don't want to lose sight of this because this sets pretty much the foundation for, taking your art career, if you will, to the next level. Can you talk a little bit about that? About what is it that you saw happen, or was there something that you felt inside you that it's like all of a sudden I'm approaching things differently? It's not just scratches and drawing and filling in symbols or anything like that. I'm actually doing something that's artistic. Do you recall that?
Well, I remember I'm sure y'all do too, but you would always have like things in each class you went in, like you would do art projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like I would get picked on, or yeah, they'd call it bullying or whatever you want to look at, however you want. I would get beat up for wearing some garage sale clothes from another kid. But here's the thing: when it came to art, nobody could compete on my level, right? I don't care how much money you had or what you were wearing. You could be the smartest kid in the class, but when it came to the art part, nobody was winning. And I knew that from 6 on up. And so whatever they wanted to do, it didn't matter. And so when I got to, when I was in Sayre, it just, when I say at 15 years old, I could do whatever I wanted.
Can I just say that I remember in high school just being all thumbs. I still am to this day. You give me a paintbrush, forget about it. Yeah, give me a guitar pick, I can do something with that. But I remember sitting next to a classmate who was a phenomenal artist, and she was just doing hand drawings, pencil sketches, and by the time class was done, and she would show it to everyone, it's probably like, all right, do you want us to pay you now or pay you later, kind of a thing. Just like what you're describing is kind of, there's no one can touch me. She never really said that. All the work that she had done spoke for itself. Is that how it was with you?
Well,
Just dry thing.
yeah, you didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to say anything. It spoke for itself, but I think the only time I really got in trouble for school, I got paddling because it was still,
The board of
that
education.
kind of time. Bored of you. I got in trouble for drawing in class.
Oh,
I got punished for drawing in class when we wasn't even doing an assignment. So the teacher was mad about it, and I
obviously
got
wasn't an art
licked for
class.
that.
He was.
No,
It
we
was
didn't have
in
art in that one
science.
school. So
Oh,
yeah, whatever it was. Uh,
yeah. Is it something that when it comes to when you start like a project, an art project of some sort, if it happens, it's got to be done now? I mean, is that what you remember when you were growing up? It's like, I'm just going to draw this now, or I'm going to paint this now. I'm not going to wait. Is it pretty immediate when it comes to I need to express myself in this artwork?
well, here the thing was, it was like no matter what I was struggling with in my life, if I had a pencil and a piece of paper, regardless if it had lines or not, nobody could take that away from me.
Yeah.
I could express all my emotions and not have to tell anybody. Nobody knew. I could draw whatever. And I'll tell people to this day, it doesn't matter what I'm painting today. They've all been painted with anger at some point. Every painting, because at some point, anger is a secondary emotion, but at some point, I've been angry when I've painted all my paintings, and I still deal with that on a daily basis. So, nobody, like, you can take stuff away from people, but they never could take that away from me.
I gotta
So
ask
even getting
you.
in trouble for.
I gotta ask it. So
Go ahead.
starting out, you said so a lot of pencil work. As you started to really get good with pencil work, I mean, I know everything was already good, but as you started to develop with that, did you start to get interested in different other types of art, like pencil, paint, like let's say they do like
Yeah, that was
pyrography or something like wood burning, stuff like that?
yeah. I do all that stuff now, but that was introduced when we got to Sayre, Oklahoma. When I was talking about Mark, we actually had an art class, and then I was introduced to different mediums. But I had taught myself with like paint by numbers because I couldn't afford like canvases and all kinds of other stuff. So I would buy like a cheap paint by number, teach myself how to paint, and then I'd be like, well, I don't like just the lines on a paint by number. Then I learned how to blend, right?
Yeah.
So it was all self-taught stuff, right? Self-taught color pencil, self-taught wood burning, self-taught watercolors, self-taught, everything.
When you got to
Pen and
Sarah, it
ink.
was like that art class kind of opened you up to all these other styles of art and these other forms of expression. Like, was it real easy
Yeah,
to
it
kind of
showed you
pick
different.
up?
Yeah, I mean, I can take, I could pick up something and mess with it for an hour or two, and then be pretty proficient at it.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't say it's scary, but it's pretty dumb. Like when I painted the
Dumb.
plane that flew over the
Not the
Super
word I
Bowl.
would use. I would be way impressed.
I would say the word I would
Well,
say is
I mean,
impressive.
I was like,
it's
geez.
impressive, but it's kind of dumb that it's like it shouldn't be that easy. Because when I painted the plane that flew over the Super Bowl, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Uh, I was getting the airbrush out. My wife's like, "You don't even know how to airbrush." I was like, "Nah, I got it."
Ooh,
And I took it. I messed with it for
man.
like an hour. And I was like, "I'm good."
A
And she's like,
challenge
"That's
accepted.
Hey,
yeah." It's
hey, Shrek. Maybe now's
yes,
a
sir.
good time to bring up some of these images that you shared with me. Let me
Yeah.
put this up on screen right now, and maybe what you can do is, you can kind of talk through these images. I'll just bring up a few right now. I know this is what we opened the show
So
with.
this is me in Albania uh, prior to us invading Kosovo in '99. So I spent the first month in Albania, and then we took a ship into Thessaloniki, Greece, convoyed into Macedonia, then invaded Kosovo. And I was doing art no matter where I went. My first deployment I went to Haiti, and I would draw a skull on the wall every day in the hooch for every day I was there. And here is the sign for our fire station that's sitting on our front of our fire truck. So I painted the Air Force sign to. I was always doing art. It didn't matter where I deployed to or what I did, and I still do it everywhere I go. There's always art.
You go ahead and move to the. You just keep on
Yeah.
talking. Tell us maybe
This picture is in Freedom Ranch for Project Healing Waters. That's in Montana. Uh,
who asked for it,
so
and maybe you can. What's the story behind this? Like when you mentioned you are a fisherman, but maybe you
yeah.
can tell us what is it that you think of when you start.
Well, what I do is when I go, there's a lot of programs that I'm associated with: Project Healing Waters, Hope for Warriors, the Brotherhood of Warriors, and when I am blessed to be invited to certain places, I always try to return the favor. So I had been out to Montana in like 2018 with Project Healing Waters, and it's a big ranch there, and they have a river. And I had told them if I get to ever come back, I'm bringing them a painting. And so I just painted this picture of this brown trout.
Man,
Other than the brown trout, there's no other meaning behind it other than I promised them a painting. And
And what was
that's
their?
kind of stuff I do. Yeah.
How did they respond to that? Were they did the
Oh,
jaw
the
hit the
owner loved it.
floor?
It's wonderful. They hang this stuff up. Uh, this is for my buddy Tommy's fishing tournament. This was given to the first place fishing tournament, the Blue Falcon Invitational.
This is
So
is
it's a
this
fly
all
fishing
this is
tournament.
all paint. This is like with
This is yeah, this is acrylic, yes, sir.
I love the way you have the white in there that shows the reflection of light on the hook, but then the other section of white that's kind of broken up gives it depth, makes it look rounded. Like it's so clean, man.
oh my god, yeah.
Well, thank you. So what I don't like texture on a painting. Not and
Mhm.
people who use it, good for you. I think it's more challenging to paint something three dimensional with no texture,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I choose not to use texture at all. So these paintings that I paint are probably about 8 to 10 layers of paint to get the color to that because they're so thin.
Yeah.
So I'm
Everything
all
is
about clean lines,
everything is within
detail.
the lines. That's what I'm thinking. It's kind of like, wow, if this were painted
Yeah,
by numbers.
I'm
Everything's
not. They like people. They call it painting loose, which would
uh-huh.
not be that fine line stuff. This is for my cousin Robert. That was for his 60th birthday. So I give a lot of stuff away.
Beautiful.
I love that reflection on the water.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah,
That's just the Northern Lights.
and the starry sky. I mean, each dot, it's not like
They're all put
the same
there.
size.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
And how is it that you don't make those colors run into each other, or do you? And you're just good at it. That just
I
He's a
do.
pro, man.
Colors, you know.
Shrek messed with it for like 2 hours, and he was a pro. I mean, look at this.
Well, to be fair, that's a 16 by 20 painting, and they take 20 to 40 hours to paint.
Wow, and those are quality hours. Folks. Wow,
Look at that sky.
That actually, that was given to Jill Biden. Jill, not Joe. That was given to Jill Biden. I met her through the vet center, and that painting was actually in the White House.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, those colors.
You paid for people who are pretty well known. Now, how did she come by and visit? And then you said, "Well, I'm gonna paint something for you," or should she see your work?
Well, no, she was visiting Camp Lejeune. She was meeting with veterans, and I was promoting art therapy in the vet center.
And you were
and
there
so we spoke with her approximately an hour, and then we had a booth. But I had talked to. I didn't. The goal wasn't to really give it to Jill. The goal was to slip a piece of native artwork into the White House.
And you were successful.
That was the goal. And it was successful.
Mission accomplished. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You know,
I was representing
there were so many more that you've shared with us here. But why don't you finish your thought here? I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, so I wanted to get a piece of Choctaw art in the White House, and that was I had asked if I could give her a piece, and we met, and then at the end of it, she was talking to us, and she wasn't able to touch it. Secret Service had to take it, but after inspection and all that good stuff, it was in the White House. I got a handwritten letter from her and Christmas cards for the rest of their time in the house.
Shrek, let's talk about the next phase in your life, which is basically firefighting and your military service. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that. I know that in the bio that I had read earlier, were you a firefighter in the Army, or were you a firefighter before the Army, or maybe you can explain that a little bit to us. Tell us about that.
So when I got to Allen, Oklahoma, I started dating this girl. Her dad was a volunteer fire chief. And so I thought I was going to work for Disney. I finished my year and a half there in Allen. And one night, her dad needed help fighting a car fire out in the middle of nowhere in a town of 180 people. And I went out there and helped him fight a car fire. And then I knew what I was supposed to do. And that was not working for Disney. It was to be a firefighter. And so I knew, I'm not saying that art wasn't there, it just, my purpose in life at this time was to be a firefighter. And so I started taking classes that were free through the volunteer fire department in Gertie, Oklahoma. And I knew that if I was going to try to get on like Oklahoma City Fire Department or any big city, that I was going to have to streamline this process. And meantime, the Choctaw Nation, which is in Ada, Oklahoma, which is next to Allen, they were starting up a forestry crew. And so they were taking all tribes, as long as you had an Indian card, you could apply. And so at 18 years old, I applied for the Choctaw Nation forestry crew and made it. And then we had been formed. We did our school. I graduated, got red carded, and then in about 2 months of being part of the crew, our first call was to go find a missing 2-year-old child. So at 18 years old, that was my first call. and we got called out. It took us about 2.5 hours to get where we were going. This child had been missing already at 12 hours at this point. They had dive teams in the lake. It was at a campground. And we got there like 2 or 3 in the morning. And within about 3 hours of searching, we found that child 3 miles away next to a pond. And the child was in a diaper. And so we tracked the child and found it. And then they landed a helicopter and medevaced her. So that's the first thing we did as a Chickasaw Nation forestry crew that had just been formed.
Man.
And then 2 months later, we would go to Oregon in 1996. And I would spend 3 weeks doing, I say, the coolest firefighting I've ever done, wildland firefighting.
Why is that?
In Oregon.
Well, now, understandable
it's just
of all the wildfires that are on the west, or out on the west. But what made it?
Well, I mean, I fought fire in combat. I fought fire, for the government. I fought fire in Afghanistan. I did all kinds of stuff. Wildland firefighting on that level is probably the most. People don't realize when you have a 100-foot tall tree and it's fully involved or consumed from the ground up, and then the flame wall is another 60 feet on top of that. So you have a 160-foot flame wall that's coming and doing whatever it wants.
Man, I can only
There's
imagine
only the
the
two
heat.
most powerful. Well, there's two most powerful things. Water's the first and fire's the second. Not gonna stop water. It's hard to stop fire.
Yeah.
And to see like whole mountains burn in a day at that level is just it's just amazing. It's amazing and destructive at the same time. Like you're in awe, but it's just wrecking everything.
You're talking about a career in firefighting, and this is just one of, obviously, you were talking about when you were in the service, and the variety of firefights that you've found yourself into. What is it that draws you towards that? Is it just really the natural instinct that I want to help someone, I want to help him, I want to get in there and fight the good fight? And I guess the next part of that is, does this somehow address some of the anger that you've also been expressing? Are you able to direct your firefighting skills and such in addressing some of that anger? Are the two related?
Well, I don't think you really get to, when you get into emergency services, they really don't tell you like being a veteran. They teach you how to do all this stuff to fight wars, and they teach you how to save people, but they don't teach you what the aftermath. They don't teach you how to deal with the aftermath, right? And that's the problem with all military branches. And I think that's what we all struggle with, or we wouldn't be doing these podcasts, right?
Yeah, the aftermath.
Yeah,
the aftermath is inevitable.
Yeah, so we all struggle because nobody teaches us what to do, right? So you really don't deal, while you're doing it, it's hard to deal with the demons you're battling because you just can't. You're just kind of running from them, right? You're trying to stay ahead of them, I guess.
Yeah.
And then until they catch you, you just try to stay ahead. And then they eventually get you, and then you have to deal with your problems, whatever that looks like. Rock bottom or wherever you ended up. Some people it's a 22 a day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of us get therapy, some of us do art, some of us play music, some of us write poetry, some of us write books, right? Some of us make it out, some of us don't. And that's the whole point of this talk right now, is to inspire people not to be the 22nd person today or the 23rd.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the only battle I care about winning.
Yes.
You know, every day, just give me
But
another day to win.
yep. And my battle now is to help share my story and help people, find a way to battle these demons that nobody really taught us anything about. Right. And I'm at that point in my life. I've been doing therapy 10 years, and I go there every day. And I teach people how to paint, and I teach people how to do therapy, and I try to be a role model still. I still try to help people. That's never going to stop. That's in my blood. Like I said, when I was groomed earlier as a young child, I just didn't know it, and it still don't stop. And so, fighting wildfires at 18, and then coming back, I was in college, and I was working 3 jobs trying to make it, and I was like, I'm not going to make it, and I've got to streamline this. And so I'd always wanted to be in the military as a kid, and there's only 3 branches that do firefighting in the military. Air Force was number 1, Army was second, and the Marine Corps is last because they only do crash fire rescue. So when I called the Air Force, they wouldn't guarantee the contract. They wouldn't guarantee me to go to the fire academy. Army would, as long as you pass basic. So Army, here I come, right?
Yeah.
And so I go to a interview at Tyson Hog Farms. I had some buddies that were managers on the hog farms, and I was just trying to get on there to make some better money. And so you got to start washing out trailers, right? So I go for an interview. I'm on the way back, and I stop at a generic Taco Bell called Taco Mayo, and there's an Army recruiter in there. And I was like, I go up to him. I was like, you ever put anybody in as a firefighter? He's like, no, but we'll try. I said, good. So we go up to MEPS. They have 1 slot. I leave for the Army a month later.
That quick.
And
boom, boom, boom.
That quick. There's only 300 active Army firefighters at any given small MOS. And that 1 slot was there, and I couldn't not pass it. Like, I had to take it. And so I left for Fort Leonard Wood in February of 1997. I did basic there, finished basic, and then when I went to San Angelo Air Force Base, and that's where I did my fire academy. Then I came back to Fort Leonard Wood. So at Fort Leonard Wood, I'd be stationed there, but like as soon as I got back from San Angelo, I went to EMT school, right? And that was in August of 97, and then December of 97, I would be going to Haiti.
Was that it was a normal progression from becoming a firefighter to emergency? I mean, is that something
well, pretty much all firefighters have to be EMTs at some point if you're going to work minimum either as a federal or a civilian firefighter.
Okay.
But they allowed us to be EMTs too. So the hospital put on the class. So if they said y'all want to go take it, we all took it. We all had to take it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Our unit was 8 people. That's how we deployed: a fire truck, a tanker, and a Humvee, and 8 people. That was how we deployed. And then we were like stepchildren to whoever. We fell under combat engineers, so we would be attached to whatever combat engineers wherever we were deployed.
Yeah, those engineers, then, man, I'll tell you what.
We've talked to them.
I was an engineer. I was a vertical engineer assigned to a combat heavy brigade, so it's like, damn, I can't win right now.
Yeah. No, it was always horrible, whoever we got attached to. We were attached to the 5th Engineers there at Fort Leonard Wood, and they didn't have a clue what we did. We deployed more than they ever did. I was there 5 years. They never went anywhere.
Shrek, maybe you can talk us through some more of the stories that you have behind.
Okay.
All right. So beautiful. So
this is Picasso. He's a wild Mustang he's famous Mustang from Colorado. And that was for a gentleman I know. That's 3 foot by 4 foot. That approximately took about 200 hours.
That's what I was about to ask you next. How big is it, and how long did it take? Man,
200 hours.
Yeah.
3 foot by 4 foot,
Beautiful.
200
Yes, sir.
hours. Man.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, my wife would want this in a heartbeat, man. She's a Star Wars nerd.
Was this painted on the
Well, that's just. No, it wasn't painted on the 4th.
Right.
And may the 4th be with you. But
What inspired this? This one. Look at that. The colors on this as well.
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
even. I'll tell the
Lucasfilms.
story.
Well,
One of my friends was talking trash about some paint I was using, and I was like, he was painting a stormtrooper, and I said, you know what, I'll paint one before you finish yours, and it'll be better than yours. And I did.
Oh, man.
Competition.
That was.
And that's 24 by 36, so 2 by 3.
Yeah.
This is
This one we saw.
12 by
this
12, I think.
Is this a different?
This is a different one than what we saw before.
different
the one
background.
Different
before.
fly,
The
yeah.
other one had
Yeah.
more of a purple.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's painted wood grain. It's wood grain painted on wood.
Yeah, the other one had the black and white tails. It had it on
Yeah.
the lower section towards the hook.
Yeah, they're all different. They're all salmon flies.
Are
Yeah.
these, as a fisherman yourself, are you drawing from your own fish and tackle? I mean, you have a tackle box or maybe a box of flies or something?
No, I don't tie these salmon flies because they take too long, and I'm not going to fish something that you're going to lose anyway. I tie
Yeah.
different flies for salmon. So tying flies is its own art, and
Yeah.
I do tie flies, and I tie really good flies, but I do not tie these. These flies probably take 30 to 45 minutes to tie one, and I want to be able to tie something because I have to tie a bunch of them. So
Give me a couple
I
minutes of
reference
fishing
these
bite.
from the interweb. That's Michael
Okay.
Myers.
That
Yeah.
is scary
I paint
good,
some
man.
dark stuff too. Thank you.
That's scary good. Man, I got to tell you, dude,
That's
Fist-
your
16 by
color
20,
blending
yeah.
is
yeah, fistful
phenomenal.
of dollars? Is that what this is?
that's from I think, or I can't remember, but it's from the movie poster.
Yeah.
And so
Eastwood movie,
I
right?
had to change it up because it's copyright infringements. So the
Yeah.
background's
Not
orange.
say
But
the name. No names here. Look at
oh,
that.
you can say who it is. What it is. But
Yeah. And I know who signed it. We've got him as our guest.
yeah.
Get out
Wow.
of here. Get out
Wow.
of here.
So that is colored pencil.
Yeah?
Get
That's
out.
that's Prismacolor pencil, and that took 33 hours to make that.
Now, I've used the Prismacolor pencils when I do wood burning, and I'll kind of use them to kind of
Yeah.
accent certain colors. Like if I do a wood burning for an eagle, the whites really
Yeah.
accent a lot in the eyes, because eyes give it life. Man, this
Well,
is...
we'll talk offline, but you start using watercolors on your wood after
Yeah.
you wood burn. It's a whole different level. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's the after
You'll,
party.
you'll do the outline of your wood first and then put the
Yeah.
watercolor in. It won't go past the burn.
Okay.
This is 48 by 60, 4 foot by 5 foot. And that's actually a Vietnam nurse. That hangs at the vet center. That's an
Wow.
actual picture of the lady. I don't know her real name, but I found that, and she hangs. I call her Abby.
I don't think those sunglasses are government issue. I'm just going to say it right now.
Oh, that hairdo ain't government issue.
Yeah,
either.
hell no.
But,
Now,
but
is
who
this-
cares? She's rocking that shit in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, Shrek, is this an image? Do you have like a photographic memory, and then it's like, okay, you envision how you're going to paint this, or is this image that's just your creation, the individual in this painting?
That's a real image.
Okay, or do you pick like the
Now, when-
photograph, and then you look at the photograph, and then you just kind of
I reference photographs, but then to a certain point, like I'll look at it and then I'll change it to however I want it to look. So it won't be exact. There'll be colors may vary depending, because you do have to change them by 10% for the most part if you're selling them. I'm not selling that. It's just to hang at the vet center.
I
So
think it's crazy how you
it was
take and
just,
you made this look like it's an old, like it's a new picture. I mean, you created it, but you've made it look aged with like the dirt
yeah, I
on the
wanted to
vehicle and the
look like it
rust
was,
down below. Like,
yeah,
wow.
I wanted it to look like it was the era it was coming from.
Yeah.
Man, let's look at another here, and then we're gonna. Ooh.
All
All
right.
right. What's the story behind this one? You said you paint when you're angry. Is there something that triggered this one to be painted?
So every painting I do, I try to challenge myself from the net. It's not like I don't have Mark anymore to challenge me. So each painting I do, I have to challenge myself. So when the whole point behind this painting was to paint all the scales and to make the rattlesnake look like it did. It kind of came afterwards.
Man,
So I
that's
just wanted to
crazy.
paint the rattlesnake.
Every single line and every diamond that you see in there, every scale.
Yeah, you see all that depth because those scales are turning. Man, that must have. How long did this take?
It probably took about 30 hours.
I love that you got that rattle on the tail right in the middle, and then you have on each side to simulate that rattling effect.
It looks
That's
like it's
super
moving.
cool. Yeah.
Shrek, what kind of patience goes behind this? I mean, you know that this is going to take a while. Is this something that when you go into this project?
I'm glad you got patient. So when I tell people, so when I first started on the therapy, and we've been talking about anger, right? And my first therapist told me I'm the only one that makes me mad, and I had to swallow that pill because it was hard to swallow because I was blaming everybody else for my problems. And when he told me that, it just kind of slapped me in the face. But I really didn't have an anger problem. I do, but I also had a patience problem. So when I was going through all my surgeries and starting therapy, I would work on my patience by going standing in the longest line at Walmart on purpose
Deliberately
and
put
doing
yourself in
things
an
to work
environment.
on my patience. Yeah, but also I didn't realize that I already had the patience in painting. I just had to turn to it. And so when I tell people that painting, and you can use this too, Tom, when you're teaching, and Matthew, when you're teaching guitar lessons, I tell people to follow the 2 P's: patience and practice. Practice builds patience, and patience want to make your practice hard and longer. So
It was good.
patience comes with practices.
Good words.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we promised our guests, there will be that live demonstration coming up.
Are we there? Are we there yet?
Almost. We are.
Oh my
almost
gosh!
there. I want to. We've come this far in talking about, some of the emotions that you're feeling, some of the ailments that you have been experiencing, and I would just want to touch on that so people, particularly like myself and civilians, who have not served in the armed forces and came away with being, with wounds, with PTSD, TBI, and other ailments as well too. Is there a way you can describe that in a way where people who have not served have no clue about what this ailment that you're talking about is, or why you do art? Maybe you can talk about that, and then we can go into art and then talk more about what art is doing for you to address some of these issues.
Well, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or if you would take a look at really what I'm diagnosed with would be complex PTSD, which is multiple traumas stacked on top of each other over year. So I know we kind of touched on Haiti. I would go to Kosovo. I would go to Afghanistan. I would do a bunch of different stuff. I'd work in the fire department for 22 years. I crunched the numbers one time. I treated over 10,000 people in my career. And at the end of my career, I would have a knee replacement, and I would break my knee at work. And that would lead me to have 5 knee replacements in 6 months. I would get a staph infection that would cause me to have a brain injury, or almost like a TBI without the traumatic part. And that pretty much wiped half of my memory. And so everybody's going to deal with trauma. Trauma is trauma no matter where it comes from. And so regardless of what trauma you're dealing with, let's talk about art and the therapeutic benefits of art. So art is used all the time for therapy. It's used in Walter Reed. It's used here at Camp Lejeune at the Wounded Warrior Battalion. They also have a TBI clinic called Intrepid Spirit. And me and you had talked about this initially, Tom, that art therapy is used in the minimum of 45 minutes. So I don't care what you're doing, if you're coloring in a coloring book, using colored pencils, whatever, playing music, writing journal, poetry. If you do it for 45 minutes, your cortisol levels drop at 45 minutes. This is science. You can look it up. I want you to look it up. Don't take my word for it. But your cortisol levels drop, right? So we know that at 45 minutes, and you talked about you do guitar lessons for an hour, which covers the 45. But if you do 45 minutes a day, your cortisol levels drop. So that's the benefits of art therapy. Along with you get to express yourself emotionally and get images out of your head that you probably couldn't express yourself in any other way, and you don't have to say anything. So things of art. So when I was injured and was going through all this and laying in bed and struggling with all these emotions, and almost took my life, I turned back to art. And because it's always been there for me, I've always had it. But I had to really lean on it. And so when I started going to the vet center, they only had one other group besides a process. They only had one group that wasn't a processing group, and that was art group. And so I wanted to go to inpatient treatment initially, and they didn't think I should, so they allowed me space. So I would attend all groups, and when I wasn't in group, I could just paint.
Our conversation with U.S. Army veteran, firefighter, paramedic, and artist Robert Shrek Harrell continues after this short break. You're listening to the Roundtable, where heroes talk, a Hero Stock Nation podcast.
What's up, Hero Stock Nation? Hey, just wanted to pop on quick and talk a little bit about what we got going on this year with our festival that's coming up. So with the tickets that we're selling again this year, we're giving 50% of that back to the community. We have narrowed it down to 2 fire departments that we would like to work with to give part of our money back to. They are nonprofits. And then one of the nonprofits that sets up with us this year at Hero Stock during our event will be put into a bucket, and we will draw a name right before the headliners, Blackhawk, comes out and takes the stage. They're $30 tickets this year, but half of that goes back to your community. So make sure you spread that word. Make sure that your friends understand what that is. And if you're a nonprofit, get signed up. It's free for you to come out and set up, and you have a chance of getting 25% of our ticket sales. You got any questions, reach out to me. Later.
Hero Stock, August 15th at Country Drive Golf Course in Ashland. Featuring Blackhawk, The Trainer Band, Briella Steiner and the Wicked Ones, Shelby K and the High Class Hillbillies, and more. This is a day dedicated to community and honoring heroes. Free entry for military, veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. Bring your friends and lawn chairs. See more than 75 vendors and enjoy the music. Tickets and info at herostock.org.
Drexel University. A seminal study by Drexel University found that just 45 minutes of creative extracurricular activity significantly lowers cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, in roughly 75% of participants. And for those 75%, the remaining 25%, their levels either stayed the same or slightly increased, but that was likely due to being alert and engaged in a state of creating. So, yeah, 100%, hands down. It's the truth. I mean,
we talk about this on the program often, but we don't go into the scientific side of it, the studies that took place, even though we've had people come on and talk about this. But these are real numbers that I think for sure, if you don't know anything about, these types of solutions that art and music does, there are your numbers for it. It's proven.
Yeah.
Next week when we return, we'll explore the next chapter of Shrek's journey, how he found healing through art. We'll take a closer look at some of his incredible paintings, hear the stories behind them, and watch as he creates a painting live here in the studio while sharing what goes on through his mind during the creative process. It's a powerful conversation you don't want to miss. I'm Tom Lamog for Matthew Jones. This is the Roundtable where heroes talk, reminding you to keep the conversation going and keep honoring our heroes. Good night.
Poking out the window, counting those posts with every mile. But you ain't looked back at me in what seems more than a while. Well, I can see the sunset glow shining through your hair, and I just want you to know you don't have to go nowhere. But I keep chasing miles, staring past the dashboard light. It's like the farther that we drive, the closer you get to goodbye. And I'm here trying all the while to bring you back by my side. But I keep chasing miles, you're leaving me behind. Keeps talking low, filling up the words you want. And I'm praying for a sign from you, but I'm scared to say what you want. And if your heart's already gone, girl, tell me now before we roll. 'Cause I can't keep on driving if I'm driving you to go. But I keep chasing miles, staring past the dashboard light. It's like the farther that we drive, the closer you get to goodbye. And I'm here trying all the while to bring you back by my side. But I keep chasing miles, you're leaving me behind. Every mile that we're making feels like one more passing by. And I wonder if I'm losing you, just learning how to drive. But I keep chasing miles, staring past the dashboard light. It's like the farther that we drive, the closer you get to goodbye. And I'm here trying all the while to bring you back by my side. But I keep chasing miles, yeah, I keep chasing miles, you're leaving me